Hi, it's Britt here on The Daily Craze, and this week I have a question. So right now I am a junior in college. My GPA is somewhere in between 2.5 and 2.6. That's pretty much the GPA that I had in high school too, except my high school used a 12.0 grading scale, so it was a little different. What I've heard my entire life is you want your GPA to fall somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4.0, but if it's anything below a 3.0, don't put it on your resume. But here's my question. Why do we have GPAs and grading scales? This video is probably just gonna make me seem bitter because I don't have that ideal 3.5 to 4.0, but I'm honestly curious because when I'm picking my classes personally, I try to pick classes that interest me and classes that are over subjects that I don't have a particular amount of knowledge on. For example, when I was picking classes this semester, I picked a class on negotiation tactics because I personally feel like I'm a terrible negotiator. I picked a class on web design because I feel like that would be a good thing to have if I want to go into online media. And I also picked a class on promotion and marketing because I have no knowledge whatsoever on promotion and marketing outside of anything that's just like natural human knowledge or things that I've picked up by seeing other people post their videos and how they promote them. Going off that, I also picked a class on telecommunications and the Constitution because I've pretty much been studying the First Amendment in at least one class since my freshman year of high school. Just every year I've had at least one class that talks about the Constitution, specifically the First Amendment, and the press and media and stuff like that, and I know that I can get a decent grade in there, which will help boost my GPA. Because obviously, by typical standards, my GPA is not the best. And just like I picked the class about telecommunications and the Constitution, I've noticed from my conversations with friends and other people in my classes that a lot of times people tend to pick classes because they sound like easy subjects, they know a lot about the subject, or even they heard that the teacher was super easy. Like I know I checked all of the professors that I could have picked for my classes on ratemyprofessor.com, and this is because there's that pressure to have a 4.0 to get good grades, and if you have anything under a B minus, then what are you doing? Really anything under a B, because a B minus is just one step up from a C plus, and C plus is just average. But is it really average, or is it the average, or is it just average because it's in the middle, you know? So I did a little research. Coincidentally, I got that research from, I typed into Google and something from my own university, Indiana University, popped up. So I'm gonna go use that. I don't think the article is from my school, but it was on my school's website, so whatever. And this information is from An A is Not an A is Not an A, A History of Grading by Mark W. Durham. And it was posted or published in the Educational Forum, volume 57 in the spring of 1993. Basically, what I learned from reading this article, and I will put the link to it in the description, is that colleges have always had some type of evaluation system, but it wasn't always, you know, A through F. All the systems were kind of different. There wasn't a standard at first. In fact, at one point, Yale developed a 4-point scale on which they graded their students, which would eventually evolve into the 4.0 GPA scale. The first letter grade, or the earliest one that people have been able to find, was actually in Harvard in 1883 when a student was found to have a B. At Yale, they used to elect their valedictorian. The class would pick who the best student in their class was, and it wasn't determined by how they scored anything.